I've been thinking about us, and I don't see this going any further. I've had so much fun with you, and I think you're an awesome dude. I just don't want to lead you on. I wish you all the best.
LOL. Wow. Okay.
Wow. Hello, and welcome back to the Friday Feels episode of You Up. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. It is so good to be back here with you, Jordana. How you feeling? How's your Friday feeling?
My Friday is feeling pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget these episodes come out. I was so used to the Sunday.
They're very close to the Wednesday ones.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have any, thoughts and feelings on the Friday Feels episode, we want to hear from you. Write in the YouTube, on YouTube, write how you're feeling.
Yeah.
I want to see how you're feeling.
Or write it on Spotify comments, YouTube comments.
We'll read those feelings on future Friday Feelings episodes.
I read it all. I mean, you read the YouTube comments. I think that's
the
the only...
something about YouTube, like the comments there, like there's a living, breathing community, it feels like sometimes. Mm-hmm. Doesn't it? Like,
yeah, I guess so. Also, you notice on Spotify, the comments say someone's full name, so you can't hide.
Finally, a little...
we'll find you.
This is keep it even.
Yeah.
So to speak.
I read all the comments. I'm a comment hoe.
Comment hoe?
Yeah.
That's a good merch.
What are you up to? It's this last day. It's really released on the last day of January.
I'll be heading to Montreal.
Ooh.
If you're out there, you want to come to the show, Montreal. All these people, come to Montreal.
Go to Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc is like a ski place around there, I think.
Okay, maybe I'll go ski. I'm going a day early. I want to try the food. I want to taste the women. I meant the wine.
Love Montreal.
I do too.
My friends and I used to road trip up there in the summer. We went a couple of times because you could in college because the drinking age was 18.
Right.
So we thought it was fun.
So you'd head up there and
yes, we put like 7 girls in in someone's mom's SUV. Mm-hmm. And
big strip club scene.
That's what we were there for.
Right.
Oh, and weed was legal back before it was legal here. I don't know. It was like, I have one of my friends was born there.
Okay,
so it was we had somewhat of a reason to go.
That's great.
It was fun.
I'm excited to go to Montreal.
Good memories.
And do the show. It's been a while since I performed there. I did Just for Laughs way back when. I was a new face.
Nice. So I actually feel like people always talk about how January is like a super long month, like it never ends. But I actually feel like it's gone by pretty quick.
We're moving.
Right?
Yeah, I gotta say, just looking at this, January 31st,
This comes out. I feel like this, it's kind of, we're recording it on the 22nd? 20th? 21st? Yeah. Something like that.
A month away, 21st, a month away from my Australia trip, if you're out there. Australia, New Zealand, I'm coming. JaredFreed.com for all the tickets. From
and
the worst
birthday,
day of the year.
All of it.
We are a month away from the worst day of the year, as we have it marked on this calendar behind
If we can get past that,
we can do anything.
2025 is going to be a breeze.
No, things are moving. It's just been freezing. That's the one thing.
Yes, it's been quite cold.
I got on right now. I can wear it here on YouTube. You can see double hood.
Do men not like to say that they're cold because it's not manly or something?
Well, here's the thing. I don't get that cold. So
look ridiculous right now.
I'm not one to complain
like a
about
nun.
A little nunnish.
Yeah. Or like a demon, I don't know. Okay.
What am I, Matt James? Oh man. Yeah, this is my
Evil Kermit.
Evil Kermit.
Yes.
Ghost him. Do it now.
Scary.
Yeah, I referenced Matt James. He's going through a breakup. Have you seen this breakup?
I saw the post and I was like, oh my God, I would be so bad. If someone broke up with me and then they posted that.
If you go on YouTube, you can go watch the Bachelor podcast on YouTube now. We talk all about the Matt James breakup. And Kay York City really nailed it. She did she kind of knew what happened before it even came out.
What happened?
So he basically wasn't getting engaged. And they're in a 4-year relationship. And as you've said many times, she was kind of forced into dumping herself. So she ends it. And then he runs to do a post 3 hours after she ends it with him.
That's poor form.
It's poor form. And it's interesting because Matt James, I have no relation to him. He went on the show. He never really made himself a part of the Bachelor universe. He was kind of put in a tough spot.
Why?
He was the first black bachelor, and then the Chris Harrison thing happened. He ends up with the girl who got canceled. Like it was all very uncomfortable.
They broke up and then they got back together, right?
They get back together and then they go into this like, we're not acknowledging the Bachelor universe and we're just going to be food content creators.
Okay, they wanted to distance themselves. I'm sure a lot of people probably want to do that.
I can understand that, but it never felt like you were getting a real person with him. Like I never felt like we got to know him like in the ways we've gotten to know other Bachelor contestants. And then you know, he obviously he's like this influencer, but like she's always there as like the camera woman. Like it never felt like it was her videos. It was always his. And then they put out like, he puts out this post and it's very male of like, okay, the breakup's over. Like, let's get back to business as usual.
If God will allow it.
Right. Well, then the caption, that's why I referenced Amen. The caption was like, please respect us. This otherworldly relationship that only God, like the caption is actually
like,
insane.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
When I saw that, I was like, what?
And it felt like he was trying to like, God, he basically, and this happens on the internet, is like, find your people. And he's like, I guess I'm with God people now. Because
was he posting God shit before that?
Not to this extent that I know of. But I also have a very casual viewing of him. I never like, you know, he posts these food things. There's not one joke. I don't find him credible as a food source. When I heard he was going to be the Bachelor, everyone in New York that knew him was like big energy guy, big fitness guy, like huge personality. And it just never really shined through to me. But yeah, the breakup. The post, though,
so is
like
that what
when
happened? She wanted to get engaged. She's to confirm that.
I don't know if it's been confirmed. This is what it seems as though, because even I think the sisters come out.
Well,
and
here's the thing: once you get past like the 3-year mark, I do think people are not. They don't like. I think you said this on one of your stories as a Q&A. No one cares, but people are watching.
Absolutely, no one cares, but everyone notices.
Yes.
So, like, what's happening there? You know, and he was asked, like they were asked together about like, and she's like, I'm ready, just waiting on. And he's like, well, and he did like the guy thing of like, well, you know, we got to make sure that everything's right, and you know, got to make sure the boat is attached
just need
to
some
the
time.
dock, and we need some time. And
that's the thing. They need some time. They need some time, and then you break up with yourself.
When we go to London, we'd make a food video, and maybe
Well, it's like Logan talked about this, and the more I've thought about it, the more it makes a lot of sense. Where she has men come to her, she said. And they said they're either going to get married or they're going to break up.
There's only 2 options.
And
work on this makes it so you're wasting her time more.
Yes.
Like you'd almost rather
the work on this period is past.
Right. And they've worked on it on their own. They've never really brought like anytime I've been working on it, it's been by myself.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can figure this out without really involving them. When you involve someone in the working on this, that is you being in a better relationship. There's no real good excuse.
That's you want it to work.
Right.
Versus like you're working on it yourself is like you're bringing in the option that you can't work on it with the other person with, which is the option B, which is we're not together anymore.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't understand that. I understand that.
Sure.
Guys break up before the next step. Said in the special, said it on this podcast, beware of birthdays, pandemics, holidays, vacations.
Engagements.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like,
do you think he would have, but like at what point would a man, let's say she wasn't asking him about engagement, would he have broken up with her? Or she broken up? I mean, like, would they have broken up?
It seems as though
would a man be fine to just date someone into oblivion?
I would think not, but like, here's the other problem. Men think they're 27 forever. So I don't think he's sitting there abiding by her clock at all based on how this happened. I don't like, and I've said this on this podcast for many years, men are not emotionally unintelligent. We are given no credibility at all.
Right. So you take advantage of that.
So take advantage of it. So the idea that you're 3 years in with someone and you have no idea that like the next step would be wanted or be talked about, like that's actually not within the confines of reality. Like that's not like living in the world. The idea of like, does it go to oblivion? Maybe the talk isn't happening and you're just, again, it goes back to his videos. We're just having fun making food, getting food. Like I never saw any reality in those videos.
Yeah. There's something under there that's not, and that's a relationship I think that doesn't have honest communication, because there's always like, unless you've talked about it and you're like, oh, we're like couple who never wants to get married.
Right. Well, think about how little communication you have to have when you get broken up with and you're two public figures who make money off of being public. Mm-hmm. And there's no like, okay, now that we're broken up, what are we going to do?
Yes. You just take just decide to go ham, do your own thing.
Right. Like that's actually the craziest part of the whole thing. And then people were like, it's so crazy that it's well, people were saying it's actually so crazy that people were saying this must be a joke.
Right.
To not tell us that they're actually engaged. And you're like, wow, the audience is all fucked too.
Instagram is like, or like social media is his job, right? Yeah. So that's almost the equivalent of you like posting on, like responding to a work memo.
Right.
Be like, it's crazy.
It's like I'm going to get fired today. I'm leaving my job before you even went to the boss.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it would be like.
Totally.
And yeah, I again, more to come from this story that we're taping this on the 21st. This comes out on the 31st. This is 10 days ahead. I'm sure more will be said.
I'm sure.
From now till then. But it is an interesting topic of like, when you break up, the breakup is almost as bad as the relationship might be. You know, like we're seeing like how
you're saying it's like indicative of how the breakup.
Right. When you see a messy breakup, you're like, well, the relationship must have been pretty messy. Like when you see it handled in certain ways, well, they must have been like it's a little bit more, oh, that must have been hard for both of them. Mm-hmm. You know, when it's like done professionally.
Right.
You know, we talked a lot about the Jason Tardik.
Oh, Kat Stickler.
Kat Stickler.
Sorry.
We talked about their breakup, like when he broke up with Caitlin Bristow. Yeah. You know, combined posts,
joint statements.
Then they break up. You know, he breaks up with, we don't even know what happened, but something went.
Well, that was an agreement,
right?
That it was
with Kat Stickler, we only heard from her.
Did we only hear from her?
We never really got. Did we get a joint one?
I feel like he posted.
They didn't. They weren't in concert.
Yeah.
You know, something was off.
Right.
It wasn't the same as the Caitlin Bristow one where it was like a business. Like,
no collab posts.
Right.
Yeah.
The collab post almost.
Our last collab.
Was there a collab with Paige and Craig?
No.
No collab.
No
post.
collab.
So the story, what's the story there? Jason posted the story first and then Kat had to talk about it.
Right.
So again, that's pretty.
I feel like unless your breakup is horrible and you're both big and you both have over 100,000 followers, I feel like you can do a little you should do a little discussion, right?
You would think, especially if you made your relationship part of your business.
Yeah.
If you're, Kat and Jason are doing Swiffer ads
a week after hard launch,
right?
Yeah.
So like, I would expect, hey, we want an ending to the movie.
Well, this is a business,
right?
That's what I'm saying. You've both profited.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's all very difficult. What are we talking about today?
Today, let's do some Icky or Picky.
Love an Icky or Picky. So this is what we do here with Icky or Picky is you have someone is turned off and they're asking, is this actually a turn off or am I being picky?
Yeah.
That's the game.
And send in some petty or prudence. I want some nasty breakups. I'm bored.
We're bored. Speaking of Bachelor breakups, we love a petty or prudent. Send yours in to uup@betches.com. Petty or prudent is the game where you have a breakup and people act in a certain way after the breakup. We rate whether it was petty or prudent. I mean, like petty or prudent for Matt James and Rachael Kirkconnell. Like, seems like he's being petty.
I agree, unless he was, but he could have been with her if he could have just proposed, theoretically.
Well,
that's what happened.
Anyone could be with anyone if you just propose. Like,
right.
You
asked for this.
Right. Like, I think he's being petty by not discussing with her, like, how are we going to put this out
I agree.
there?
I think,
like, what would be best for you? I know you dumped me, but I put you in a position to dump me because I wouldn't get engaged.
Yes.
So, hey, can we talk about what we're going to do now?
Yes. Can we stop letting women dump themselves? I don't like it.
But it's what we do best.
No women dumping themselves in 2025. Men should.
So she should just stick it out? Like, what should she do?
No, she should. I guess she has to dump herself in that scenario. If he's like, I'm willing to be dating you forever.
He'll never come on, but Matt James, you're invited.
That should be a different word for that because that's really not her breaking up with him. That's her.
Well, this is why people are so interested. Because I was like, why do people care so much? And then like the more I hear about the story, the more I kind of care.
Yeah.
Because their relationship never really spoke to me. So like I was like, people are really into this. But then you find out like the people who were watching the whole time, like engagement was coming.
Yeah.
And now she dumps him, and now he puts out a post where it talks about
because she had to.
Baruch atah Adonai, I hope you guys can respect our privacy. Amen. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know. I think there should. I mean, I guess the term is breaking up with yourself, but I feel like there should be another term for when you like must leave the relationship because the person is giving you no other option.
He went dead fish on me.
Maybe
like. Because that's what he's
just
doing.
Giving her nothing.
Dead fish,
yeah.
You know, like
yeah. Refuses to be villainized by being the.
What would you do? What would you do?
Quitting?
Well, he quiet quit. Yeah. Matt quiet quit on the relationship. You could say that as considering the information that we think is true. I would love to hear I would love to have either of them on the show.
Please, open invitation.
We will talk about your breakup. We will get into it. I think. For any man out there, this is the place to go with your breakup. I think this is the most...
You'll get a fair...
Right. You walk into the teeth of Betch's HQ, and you walk away with your story told in a fair way.
Yes. And then we invite the other person to come on and
Equal
tell theirs.
time.
Yes.
Let's do Icky or Picky.
Let's do it.
After going on one date, guy calls me multiple times the same day and sends me 18 memes on Instagram. Love the pod. Thank you for the endless laughs and advice. Whenever I'm in a predicament, I find myself asking, what would J&J do? Which is exactly what I did during this dating experience. I'm a 32-year-old single female and recently met a 33-year-old male on Bumble. We had a lot in common and I was super attracted to him, so I was excited to see that we matched. He was also really quick to plan a date and get off the app, which is unheard of these days. I thought I won the lotto with this one.
Nope.
It's a little bit of the Three Bears situation.
Yeah.
Too hot, too
That's
cold.
True.
Just right. The day we swapped numbers, he called me during the day on a Monday. I work a
God.
full-time job and run a small business, so I don't have a lot of free time, but I did appreciate the opportunity to hear his voice and plan our date later that week. It's so too good to be true. I kind of thought we were good on our communication for the day, but he called me again that afternoon and sent me about 10 memes on Instagram throughout the day. The next day, he called me 3 times during the day and sent me 18 memes on Instagram. So what do you think? They blow up your phone before the first date, icky or picky? My initial reaction was to be icked out, but I didn't want to let one ick ruin a potentially great match, so I told him this was overwhelming and further explained my work to provide context. He was initially receptive and respected my boundaries. We proceeded to go on a second date where he bashed every single one of his ex-girlfriends, definitely a huge red flag. The calls, memes slowed down, but didn't stop. I couldn't shake this feeling that something was off, so I texted him to end things. He responded by sending me multiple texts and, of course, calling me. He asked to be paid back for our first date, send me his Venmo. The ultimate, the Venmo
that is like such a
small time crime.
Yes,
small time.
I know, it's like so pathetic.
It is really like I never hear that and go, "Good job, dude."
Right, the Venmo is like a real, like you're real reaching. It's sad. I think it's like sad for the men.
So sad. You're trying to like hurt them, like that. You got to show them that like you weren't taken advantage of. It is like the worst, most ugly version of a man.
Right. It's
like,
sad. I think it's like pathetic.
I guess he also ordered me a shirt. News to me.
You wanted the money for that too?
I've attached a screenshot of his response, mostly because I want to hear Jared over dramatize it. Okay, so I did not pay him back and don't plan on it. He mentioned that I said I would, but that is not true. I mean, they might be in small claims court. Judge Judy. I've heard to pay for my half when we were making the reservation, but he assured me that that was not necessary because he's a gentleman. Well,
not quite.
Unless you dump him. His response further assures me that I made the right decision and probably should have listened to my ick in the first place, but at least now my group chat has a new joke that has been providing entertainment for the last 2 days. Sincerely, maybe I should Venmo request him for my phone bill, bitch. I love that sign off. Should we read the text so
let's do it.
Over dramatize it?
Okay. But also, I've been thinking about us, and I don't see this going any further. I've had so much fun with you, and I think you're an awesome dude. I just don't want to lead you on. I wish you all the best.
LOL. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
She said the least like
that's like the
mean,
most standard
right?
Nice breakup.
This is company
crazy.
email.
Yes.
Great.
Literally anything that was like the perfect. That was the perfect breakup text.
Right. LOL. Wow. Okay. And why is that? You have so much fun and think I'm an awesome dude, then why let me go? Makes 0 sense. When you get your Phil shirt in the mail. Phil shirt? What could the Phil shirt be? When you get your Phil shirt in the mail, you can just throw it away then. Also, then maybe you can pay me back for the Topgolf too. Here's my Venmo.
This is the next day, I guess.
And then the next day, this is crazy. Guess mama raised a quitter. Please Venmo me the money you said you would for Topgolf. Thanks.
Ugh. Now he took a day to think about it and then doubled down.
I mean, and then texted her like he was a bad guy in
Yeah. I would have paid him so that he went away personally.
Right. Oh, you got to pay him. Just pay. I mean, when you double down.
Yeah.
He sounds like he is like a 1980s Southern bad guy.
Yeah, like a villain from a movie.
Right. Guess mama raised a quitter. Right?
Gross. Yeah.
Please Venmo me the money you said you would for Topgolf.
What a loser.
I'll thank you when I bid you adieu.
What do you think that guy thinks when he gets the money?
Got her. I don't know. This is like, the ego is a man's greatest enemy. It's
crazy. I mean, I would expect this though from the guy who messages 18 times.
Would you?
I kind of would. Yeah.
Right.
The person's like, I would say passionate. This is the flip side of passion.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Life is gravity. What goes up must come down. This is
passion. Too passionate on the upswing is just as passionate on the down.
Right. You're absolutely right.
That's why I go for guys that treat me like shit.
This is the thing. This is why you can't get ahead. Like, is it icky that he sent 18 memes? I think it's icky.
It's a little much.
It's a little much. I think I would go on the first date with that person. I think when you say to them, like, hey, just so you know, like my work schedule, I can't get back to all this. We haven't met yet. I just want to can we pump the brakes here?
Right.
Which she did, and then he respected, but then didn't.
Right.
The second time I'd be gone.
Yeah. I think I can't imagine the energy that he gave off was pleasant.
No.
So, Icky. Definitely Icky. Hey J&J, I'll get to it fast. I need help ascertaining a potential lost cause and possibly some man whispering from Jared. Are you ready to whisper?
I'm ready to ascertain.
Me, 36-year-old single lady in LA. After our last heartbreak hit me hard, my therapist gave me the recommendation that I should experiment with dating nice men. LOL. Okay. Haven't we all gotten that recommendation from our therapist?
Why don't you choose a nice guy this time?
Therapists say that in their, not that direct of a way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you thought about the,
I just don't know how to do that.
What?
Doesn't everyone start out as nice or
No. Well, yes, but you have to, you have to be a better consumer.
Right. All right.
Nice is I
think nice, maybe nice guys is.
Which they really mean is not, consistent guy,
right. Or not
emotionally available guy.
Right. Well, she writes, even if I didn't have the spark, to me, that's guys you're not attracted to.
Maybe. I think it's giving someone a little time to come around.
Okay.
I ended up following the advice and met a nice guy on Bumble. We'll call him Mark, 44.
Always a Mark.
Mark seemed to ooze green flags. Texted me first every day, brought me gifts back from travel, intentionally made sure we saw each other 1 to 2 times a week, paced himself and didn't hit me with any love bombing shenanigans.
Okay, no memes.
Asked me to meet his friends, come to New Year's Eve to meet mine, etc. Last weekend, he asked me to be exclusive, and I was excited. This method totally worked. This method of not dating sociopaths.
Dating a nice guy. Whoa.
Crazy. Here's the catch. He's
Mark. Oh.
Yay. He's BFFs with his ex, and I only just now realized what that means. Couples massages, hanging out every day, going on solo trips that look incredibly romantic. He swears up and down this is platonic, but when I asked him if he had space for a girlfriend, since he currently spends about 90% of his time with her, he said he had never thought about what kind of adjustments he'd have to make in his life. He also said he was surprised to have met someone. He never expected to actually date someone, and he's not sure he has space in his life for a partner. He's been single. Why would he ask her to be exclusive then?
Right.
That's very weird.
So he's realizing this after the fact?
After she said something to him?
Right. That's kind of strange.
That's weird. He's been single, by the way, since he dated this ex in 2019. This is a man who wants long-term relationship on his profile and has been relentlessly pursuing me for 4 months. Help! My questions.
Okay.
When someone has been single for a long time like this and has a status quo of how they live their life, how much change can you expect? Should I settle for seeing him once a week while he hangs out with his ex and BFF 5 times? Why would a man pursue you through to exclusivity only to be surprised when you expect him to, actually hang out with you if you're committed? Literally any and all wisdom welcome. Trying to listen to my therapist, Betch. And then she includes 2 pictures of him and the ex, which are like, one of them is like a normal-ish, and the other one's like them figure skating in costumes. It's like absurd.
It's crazy, these pictures.
Couples massages?
Yeah, I don't really.
What is going on?
I do. It's funny that she went from a very abnormal story to a very actually relevant question of how much should you expect a person to change when they go from being single for a long time to a relationship? Well, you should expect that some things they do aren't personal to you. I think that's the big thing with someone who's been single a long time. They live their life a certain way. And
they do dance routines with their ex-girlfriends in skating rinks.
That's the thing.
That's what they do.
Right. That's the thing about this email where you go,
this
you
seems
didn't
weird.
think that you would lose the friend when you had a relationship come into your life? That's kind of how it works.
My question would be you clearly love spending time with this person. Why did you guys break up?
Right.
You clearly really enjoy this person's company. You spend 5 days a week with her.
And what's she doing?
Right.
I can't tell someone how to spend their time, but is her goal to be in a relationship? Is she looking for someone and she's spending 5 days a week with someone that has no chance of being a relationship?
Right.
I would wonder what her goals are, what his goals are, what you're looking for. Do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? If you want these things, the relationship has to change at a minimum.
Right, but he's saying he doesn't necessarily. That's why it's kind of confusing because he said he asked her to be exclusive.
Right.
But he's saying he's not sure he's ready for that. Not sure he has space in his life for a partner. Why would you ask someone to be exclusive and then say that you're not sure you have space in your life for them?
I do think if I'm to follow this email all the way out, I do think a lot of men just kind of go oh, this is the next thing. Oh, we were dating and now I'm seeing you and now, yeah, we'll be exclusive. And then, whoa, what the fuck happened?
Expectations, right? Well, why would it?
Well, then you go.
Why would a 44-year-old man use the term exclusive and not girlfriend? That's weird.
Yeah. Well,
would you ever do that?
To me, it's a pre-breakup. I wouldn't. I would say that we're in a relationship.
Yes. What is this, camp?
I know. I guess the exclusive thing is a way of
shutting someone up. But she sounds like he's hard pursuing her.
Right. That's what I don't understand. I do think I made this analogy once on Instagram and it makes a lot of sense to me. Men get in relationships like they get in the ocean. They just run right in and then they dive in, get their head wet and then go, whew, time to get out. Well, a lot of women when they get in the ocean, they put a toe in. They get a little bit wetter, a little bit
yeah.
They get used to the water temperature, and then they bend at the knees. They don't dive right in, and by the time they get in, the guy is running out. He's already tried this on.
Okay.
So I think this seems like a similar thing where he ran right in, dove in. He goes, "Oh, this is what it feels like. I gotta get out of the ocean." Mm-hmm. He didn't really look ahead
after he said the exclusive.
Right, and then he gets questioned, as he should, from a girlfriend, his exclusive partner. Hey, I want to spend more time with you. And he's like, well, but my ex, we have skating lessons at 2. And you're like, well, aren't I? And now you get to ask, this person writing in, gets to ask the very, relevant question of well, how do we figure this out? And he's like, oh, I don't want to figure anything out. Goodbye.
Right. Also, I think anyone who's not aware enough to be it's strange that I do this. Mm-hmm. Here's a perfectly logical explanation for why we're so close is not someone you want to be communicating with.
Right. But that's hard. I guess the hard part is she got this far. How did she not see this till now?
Right.
And that's where she's probably doubting. That's why she's writing to us. She's like, wait a minute.
Right. She already let it go for a while.
She kept moving along because he's also pushing it along.
Right.
You know, he's pursuing me for 4 months. I feel for her. Like,
Right.
she's like, I'm not a crazy person. How the hell am I getting pursued for 4 months? And now I'm getting told, like, I want too much because he won't stop hanging out with his ex-girlfriend 5 days a week.
I don't get
like,
it either. Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, there's something way off about this.
Right.
And I guess, like, if you're there to figure it out, if you want to spend the time figuring it out, I encourage her. Like, there's a bunch of questions we could tell her to ask that I would ask. How come she doesn't want a relationship with you? How come you don't want a relationship with her? How did you envision life working out if you were putting on your profile, want a long-term relationship? Do you want kids? Do you want to move in? How do you expect, like, should I hang out with her? Should I get to know her so that we can all hang out? Like, how did you see this going?
Right.
And if you didn't even think about it, don't you think it's a little bit actually, like, insulting to me that you didn't think about it?
Well, that's why when she's like, my therapist told me to experiment with dating nice men. I don't think you found one.
Right.
Just because a guy is like pursuing you in the beginning, that's not what I would call a nice man. It's easy to pursue someone in the beginning.
Right.
That's like the easy part. It's
Nothing
more like
easier than being a boyfriend for a weekend.
Yeah. To me, the harder part is how you act when you're no longer interested. Like, that's what determines if you're a nice guy or not how you are to someone when you start dating them before you slept with them or like in the beginning stages.
Right.
It's easy to be nice when you're nice. And I feel like that's something, you know, we talk about like not liking the nice guy or not liking the nice guy. A nice guy is nice to people he doesn't like too. Mm-hmm. And that's how you, like, that's how, go back to the ick, you're picky email. Like, that's not a nice guy just because he's following up, just because he's calling you. That's not what a nice guy means to me.
This is like factually nice versus being nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Being nice is like, again, what you do when you don't like the person. Are you nice to them?
Right.
Or
do you...
Or when you're not sure if you want to date them, are you nice? This isn't nice.
Right. And if you're, you know, being the nice guy is like having an actual conversation with you.
Yeah.
The nice thing would be like, hey, I'm really like dealing with it. I'm going to have to lose a friend to be with you. And it's hard for me. I just have to let you know that like I have to like kind of re-break up with the friend so that we can spend more time together.
Yeah. That's a nice guy.
Right. That would be a nice thing to hear from him.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm working through this. It's a little awkward for me. Instead of like, I have to change my life a little to have a partner. It's
Right.
like, what?
Yeah.
You didn't think of this?
Because that's the thing. The guy isn't nice. The guy is doing what he wants to do. He wants to hang out with you in the beginning. He wants to do all these things with you. So he's doing whatever the fuck he wants to do. That doesn't mean you're nice. Just because you happen to be on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm. This one sucks. Because I feel for her. It's crazy. Like I to me, this lives outside of the normal like bell curve of people because it's like, dude, you didn't think.
This guy's weird. Yeah, this isn't like a normal scenario.
No.
Someone hangs out, getting couples massages with a person they used to date.
And not going, yeah, it's weird. Like at the very minimum, and I think this is like a big
The very minimum. You have to say
something's
I know
weird.
it's crazy.
Right. And
I know it's hard to understand. It's hard to understand.
Right. And she doesn't even reference, like, does she know this ex? Like, have they hung out? As like all three of them? Has she seen the relationship? I don't know.
Who hangs out with anyone 5 times a week? Is there anyone you hang out with 5 times a week?
Absolutely not. I don't even want to be with myself 5 times a week. It's fucking crazy.
Can't imagine committing to anyone 5 times a week.
I don't know if we helped her other than to say, like, you got to get away from this guy because, like, I just don't want to date someone who's unaware. Like, and willfully unaware. Like, I just don't want to be...
Yeah, that's swimming against the tide. That's dealing with someone who's not going to be working with you.
Right. So you got to run away from someone like this. They haven't taken your time into account at all.
Yeah. Not nice.
Not nice.
Not nice.
I have an update for you guys.
We have an update.
Yes,
Let's
from
hear
this
it.
for this email.
They got
She's
married.
like, we're all married, all 3 of us.
Okay.
She has another outfit. It's a skating outfit.
Follow up. He just dumped me. He said that he felt it was just too early for us to be saying things like, you're important to me and I want to date you. Even though we'd been dating for 3.5 months, he said if he really did the math, it was more like 10 days.
Oh,
What?
wow.
What?
Not nice. Did I call not nice?
It's not nice to act like
10 days is a
we're
lot.
not on the same planet together. Like,
It is.
what do you mean 10
10
days? I don't understand.
He's saying 10 total dates in 4 months, maybe, or something. He's counting the...
So he's doubting
That's
reality
what I'm saying.
to her.
This
like,
guy is... I think her nice radar is off.
right. I don't even know what nice is. I think
I know.
like,
I mean, again, I think nice is how you're treated when you're not someone's favorite thing to deal with. That's how you know if you're nice.
At this point, right now, he's being the least nice.
Because he's not nice. Overall,
Right.
I don't think he was nice in the beginning. Doing what you want to do does not make you nice.
Right. And
Doing what you
happened
don't want to
include her.
do makes you nice.
Right.
You know?
Well, we solved dating again. Thank you for the update.
We did it.
We did it.
We'll be back on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Boom.
Bye. Kate McAuliffe is our senior producer. Our editor is Emily Freed. Candice Maniga is our senior social producer. Our associate producer is Will Maxwell. Additional production help from Shannon Jimenez Sasson. Be sure to follow us at u.up.podcast and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.